This video is being shown to you under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Smash that like button. Let's go.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It is your favorite breast cancer survivor, Survivor Speaks, and I'm back with another live. What's up for always? I do see you in the chat. Thank you so much for hopping in. This was last minute. What's up, Nessa C? Thank y'all for stopping in. So, we're going to talk about the Diddy's ex-chef, who she came out and made some statements on her Instagram page. Two videos. You know, she's fearing for her life. If he's released, we all know that he was denied bail. We're gonna go over and please, drop down in the chat what you guys think, or interact with each other in the chat, and then I will also be looking at the chat, to chime in with you guys, because we're gonna go over. We're gonna take a little ride over to her Instagram. And watch the videos and hear the words directly from her mouth, and then we can chat about it for a little while. They have opened the floodgates, and so many people are suing. I have a big issue with one of the male workers that is suing Cassie. I think that it's too much going on. And me being a woman, I'm not going to sit around and just jump on the side of people. That girl was 19 years old. She was groomed to do all of the things that she was doing. She was quite innocent when she came to New York to be with Ryan Leslie. Those are just the facts. And P. Diddy, in true P. Diddy fashion, stole her. I just think that, the not guilty plea, and I did see the interview with that one juror. He was an alternate, so he did not make he was not on the jury, so he was an alternate. And I just do think that, I think a whole lot of things. See, what I'm seeing now, right, is so many people were quiet in the industry, not saying anything, not saying where they take a stance on, either with Diddy or with other people. But some of these people we have seen speak out about Diddy when Diddy was home, makes funny remarks and stuff like that, because this is not a new label that's being put on him. This has been out here for years and years and years, ever since he stepped onto the music industry scene, right? What bothers me even further is I'm confused. I'm thoroughly confused by all of the backlash that Tisa Tells is getting. I am thoroughly confused about grown men jumping in her face or trying to get at her because she has an opinion. But the real issue with Tisa Tells, and I'm going to just say it, the other content creators see how she's, flourishing. She has a strong team of her subscribers and members that support her. And so, while this guy is out there screaming, are you going to give your supporters the money back? Or they are steady donating. They are donating and donating still, because this is her full-time job. She's in New York. She covered the whole trial. Everybody can speak about how they feel about the trial. If she wasn't doing something right, they wouldn't have her on ABC. They wouldn't have had her on Nancy Grace. They wouldn't have had her on, what was it, Dateline or whatever it is. She's been all over the place. So they like her commentary. They like the fact that she took a stance for the victims. But when the prosecution was losing, if it was a day that was losing, that's what she came out and that's what she said. So people are under the impression that these people are only donating to her because of the things that how she covered the case. Then you got to be a special kind of stupid. You have to be a special kind of stupid to believe that Tisa Tells was paid off by the United States government. I done heard it all. First of all, Tisa Tells don't have nothing to do with these charges that was brought on Diddy. She just has been covering the case for a very long time. Tisa knows how to be a journalist or a content creator, if you will, or, to get the story, or she takes chances. So it's called networking, people. These stations and brands don't want to network with you if you're a content creator covering this case, and then you're out there in front of the courthouse doing all types of stupid things. You have just put a nail in your coffin. Like, you can't be out here one day, I'm so professional and I'm in a 3-piece suit, and tomorrow I'm standing in front of the courthouse with no shirt on, letting people squirt baby oil on me. What are we doing here? You're making a mockery out of this whole trial. There are victims involved. There are people that are scared, that are in fear. But what they fail to realize is that I know the judge is not supposed to look at outside things and take them into consideration when he is sentencing Diddy. I know he's not supposed to do that. I know that they vandalized the front of the courtroom with that baby oil and all that other stuff that they were putting out there. We know that they don't like that. We see the attacks, the immediate attacks on content creators that were covering this case and was not Team Diddy. Immediately, there was a content creator. She is on Instagram, Twitter. I didn't get to actually go back over there and look, but she had been attacked. She didn't have security like Tisa. Tisa had security. That's the only reason why they had to be in shouting distance of her, because she had security. And so I just hear all of this, these false narratives that are going around, and I'm like, people, you got to wake up at some point and breathe. There is something that you can fill out for called a Rule 22. It's called a Rule 22. If you want to get a press pass, and as long as you provide everything that they're asking for, you could get a press pass. But you have to take the proper steps to do that. So what if Tisa made network and got to know like people that are very known in the news industry? And so what if they did get her a press pass, which I believe Tisa Tells we got on her own? But if not, all of these channels were relying on her and some other reporters to come on their shows and give them the tea on what was going on in the courtroom. So the fact that people are saying that Tisa lied on Puffy, no, she had an opinion. After looking at the evidence just as well as everybody else was, and was able to form their own opinions. This is what gets me, right? Now, in front of that courthouse, you had a bunch of people standing outside, a bunch of press. You had a bunch of, of content creators that was out there, never said which side they wanted to take. Because who has to take sides, right? Nobody should have to take sides. So they never said whether they was Team Diddy or not. But as soon as those 3 biggest counts were dropped, everybody's Team Diddy now, and everybody's attacking Tisa Tells. This is a bad thing for the content creators that were out there. Let me tell you something. Nancy Grace was pissed. If you know, Nancy Grace used to be a prosecutor. All of the other news stations and news channels that she worked for were pissed. They were pissed. And you can trust and believe that these people have connections to go, to get into high places. If you don't think that people are not writing that judge to tell them about the tactics that went on after he was found not guilty of 3 charges, but guilty of 2 charges. Everybody's sitting here, just like I said it. I've always said it. I believe that he's guilty, but it's up to the 12 jurors. It is up to the 12 jurors how this case turns out on whether or not he's going to be found guilty or not guilty. So they found him guilty on the lesser charge, which is the Mann Act, transporting, people for the purpose of prostitution, right? Each count, he could be sentenced up to 10 years on each count. So now, as long as he's sentenced up to 20 years, because it's 10 for each count, if they sentence him to 20 years, what are they going to appeal? They can't. Now, if he turns around and give him something like 25 or 30 years, then there's a good chance that he will have he will have grounds for an appeal. So now he can't say that, because this is the route that he was going to go, that he had ineffective counsel. They've gotten you 3 not guilty verdicts in this trial. According to them, that's what they think. No, it was the jury. I believe the jury went rogue on those 3 charges because they did prove some of those predicate acts, and they just looked the other way. And that's fine. But when he's sentenced, it is what it is. When Judge Subramanian sentences him, it is what it is. And guess what? Everybody's looking at this like a loss for the prosecution. It's a loss and a win for both. It is a the win for them over there is that he doesn't get life, but he still could be charged up to 20 years, 10 years on each count. And if they run concurrently, he needs to do 85% of the 20 years, if that's how he sentences him. But I think I found it very interesting, and I know that we did this with the trial too, but we have the right to. I found it very interesting that he has no bail, and the judge used his own attorney's arguments to justify why he's not getting a bail. And so these people out standing on the front of the courthouse, violent, like just verbally attacking other people, because Cesar Tells wasn't the only one, but they, calling her all types of B's, all types of hoes, telling her she needs to be Diddy'd. Like, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Judge Subramanian does not have to close his eyes. It's not like he's on the jury. He has the right to look at whatever he wants to look at. So if people don't think that they're not watching these channels, they need to think again. All that King Combs was out there dancing out there with the music up loud, with the songs that he just released last week, dancing out there. Then he dropped down and did some push-ups. If y'all don't think that the judge and everybody else in this case is not looking at that, then people are I gave some people too much credit. But then y'all want to cry boo-hoo when it's all said and done. When it comes to the sentencing and the judge decides, listen, because as long as he don't say it out loud, he can sentence him to whatever he wants to, up to 20 years. Because each charge is, you could be sentenced from 1 to 10 years on each count. And the people don't even realize that. No, they didn't charge him with domestic violence. They didn't charge him with domestic violence, but he don't have a bail because of domestic violence. He doesn't have a bail because he's a threat to society, a threat to the witnesses, or even people that were just questioned by the federal government. And if they should have had this chef testify, because baby, if that is an obstruction of justice, I don't know what is. If what she said is not, and she says it in the video, don't take my word for it. We're gonna go there and hear it for ourselves in just a minute. Let me see what you're saying over here. For always says, yes, I saw that interview and it seemed very strange. I believe though he was guarded in his speech. Are you talking about the alternate juror? So now they're on a Bash Cassie tour. You know, the escorts, they're all involved. And now because, you know, it's millions of dollars, this guy is saying, well, she shouldn't have got on the stand and said my name. She had to get on the stand and testify truthfully. And so when he's saying that, Cassie wanted him to urinate on her and all this other stuff, I don't believe him. I don't believe that Cassie told him that she didn't tell him that she was on her menstrual and that Diddy wasn't there. Do you actually believe that we believe that? Do you actually believe that we believe that? There is no way. Like they said, there was never an FO where Diddy wasn't present. Not with Cassie. So you got the wrong person. But you see the millions that she has and you're trying to come for it. To each his own. Whatever. Y'all. Now let me tell y'all what's up with me. I need y'all to say a prayer for your girl. So Thursday night, I came from my mother's. I was making something to eat. I put the food in the oven, and this is how fast this happened. So we got an alert to say that there's a storm, a storm watch. You know, stay away from windows. Go in the basement if you have one, if possible, to stay away from the windows. And it starts like raining very, very hard after that. My whole house shakes. So I'm like, whoa, was that a earthquake or something like that? And so my daughter was like, turn all the lights off, turn everything off, everybody, get in the bed. She was joking, but then she came upstairs. So the tree on the city's property fell into my bedroom. In a roof, I had a tree in my bedroom, and it's pouring in there. I'm not supposed to even be in here. I'm not even supposed to be in the house right now. I'm supposed to be in the hotel. But yeah, so we had to. I've had y'all. This is really like a release for me, because when I tell you, like, the insurance company, like, I don't understand how people work in a customer service field and don't know how to handle people when it comes to different things. You're sitting on the other side of the phone. You don't have a tree in your bedroom and a big hole and it's raining in the bedroom. So I spoke to the insurance company first, and they told me that they would have an insurance adjuster come out. The on-call insurance adjuster come out. So they assigned the guy to me, so I get a call from somebody else. It's not the insurance adjuster. It's someone else from the insurance company. And he's telling me, you need to call a tree removal service and get the tree removed, and then we will reimburse you. Excuse me, sir. Hold on. Let's rewind that. So we have insurance, And this is what we have insurance for. So the building inspector, the fire department, the police department thought that because it's an emergency case, that the insurance adjuster would be coming out today because it's an emergency. Yeah, I understand what time it is, but this guy, he was so nasty. I said, what if we don't even have the means to call a tree removal service? You don't know what our finances are. This is why we have insurance. We just don't know. I don't have to tell you that, but I think that is, he started raising his voice, and I'm like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Oh, I got 20 calls today, and I've had to tell 20 people the same thing, and I didn't need to know that you spoke to 20 people and had to tell them the same thing. I'm pretty sure out of all the 20 people that you spoke to, not everybody has a tree in their bedroom and a hole in the ceiling, and that it's raining in the bedroom. I mean, like, what part don't you understand? I don't give a damn about them 20 people that you spoke to already, and I didn't need to know that. That's poor customer service. Poor customer service. You will not hear the end of me. It will not be. Listen, you will not. Y'all gotta excuse me. These neighbors moved next door, and it's like the 4th of July for them all over again. So if you hear fireworks, that is my neighbors next door. Like, so I'm just like, what? So what? Like, so what now? Oh, okay. So now the cop is like, well, we had spoke about like putting them up in a hotel, but they were we were told by the city inspectors that the insurance company needs to put them up in a hotel. Oh, they can pay for it and we'll reimburse them. So it would have been Thursday night, Friday, which is today. Oh no, this is Saturday. Friday night, today, Saturday night, Sunday night, and the adjuster is supposed to come on Monday. So you want us to shell out all this money and get the tree removed and professionally have them put a tarp on it. And I told them, listen, you know what? Because the cop stood in like, what are you talking about? So you're not going to. And so I didn't, first of all, I didn't know that you were calling. They told me that the on-call adjuster was calling. That means that the adjuster is on call. So I'm pretty sure people have emergencies. I only know about my emergency right now. I'm carpal tunnel. I can't tell you about anybody else's emergency. So I hung up on him. Why did you call me? And I made sure today I called the insurance company back and told them to put in my records, he's never to contact me again. You know, tell me, I'm just trying to help you. Why are you yelling? No, I didn't raise my voice until you raised your voice 2 or 3 octaves. All right? Let's make that clear. But you're trying to help me. You're not. I understand what you're saying, but I asked you a legit question that you haven't answered yet. So if you don't know the answer to the question, then you shouldn't be talking. Do you have a supervisor that's over you? Because you're not even an adjuster. Do you have a supervisor that's over you or somebody over you that I can speak to? So I finally hung up on him. I called back today, but I'm going to call their corporate office, and then we're going to reach out to the commissioner, the insurance commissioner or whatever, because they are governed and commissioned under. And yeah, y'all going to learn today. Everybody is not playing with y'all. Everybody is not playing with y'all. Y'all don't get to just keep, have people paying money for insurance and stuff like that. And then, they pulled this mess last time. We had I don't live in a flood zone, but we had a bad storm here. It was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Ida. And we lost everything in my basement, everything. And when I tell we had just like all the gym equipment, we had a Pac-Man, arcade machine, washer, dryer, pool table, everything. We lost everything. And the insurance company said it was a flood, so that it was a flood, so they're not covering anything. I said, oh, okay, really? So hey, OBD. So they charged us $5,500. Like, we had to get it moved to put a tarp up properly, because it's a big hole. And the wall on the seam it came around to the other side. The wall is like it's detaching, so it's considered structure damage. So they deemed it unsafe. So yeah, I have a big pink window sticker on my window, and yeah, I'm not supposed to be here. So they were talking about, oh yeah, well, after everything is done, the building inspector, after everything is done, turn off all the power. I just went food shopping. Guess what? Listen, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So I'm sitting here, because with no air on, because my husband is scared to turn the air on. And I'm hot. So if I look hot, I'm hot. But it just goes to show you how people just, you don't even have any compassion. You sit on the other end of the phone. And I got finished breaking it down to whoever I spoke to today, because what I said today, I'm going to repeat it again. He's customer service. He's supposed to be able to alter his mood depending on who he has on the phone and what's going on the phone. You're not gonna, I'm trying to help you, and who you are, why are you getting smart with me? No, you also, now you're the victim, because after you raised your voice 2 octaves, I raised mine. I've been here with a building inspector, police, the fire department. They've never seen me raise my voice. They never heard me raise my voice. No, that's because you called me, and I wasn't expecting to speak to you. But you called here with the wrong attitude. And I have questions that you're not answering. So that's what it is, people. Like, yeah, we had the tree was in the because it was 6:15 at night that the storm, the little 10 to 15 minute storm happened, because that's all it was. But the kicker is, this is the kicker. And I wasn't thinking until they left. The tree that fell in our house is that's the city's property where the tree fell. So y'all should have had the tree removed by right. But everything was happening so fast, the building inspector had left, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is a tree from their property. And I was wondering why the guy was rushing out, like, oh, it's Mother Nature. We're going to close out our part. It's Mother Nature. And he was hurrying up because they didn't want to do any of that. So that's how my weekend has been going. So it's just way too much. It's way too much. These insurance companies get your money, and then they want to play and slow roll the way they want to slow roll. Now, I'm trying to remember if this is the same adjuster that came the last time. And if it is, I'm going to tell him, just go on back, and I'm going to request somebody else. Because you came here and played in our face when we had that storm. Because it didn't make a difference where you were. If you were in a flood zone or not, people lost, a lot. Everybody lost a lot of things. It was disheartening, okay? You suck it up and move on. But I just tell you, excuse me for my going on a tangent. It's a lot. So it's a lot. And yeah, you know what? I'm grateful for that, for always, like, nobody was, my husband was in the yard and I was downstairs. Like I said, I had just put something in the oven, but I think it was just almost done, something like that, whatever. So my daughter came downstairs, but then when she came back upstairs, because I looked out the window, I'm like, the whole house is shook. Is it an earthquake? Like, what's going on? Did somebody run into somebody? When I looked outside, I'm like, oh no, it's not. Then my daughter came upstairs and she was like, it's a tree. And she started having an anxiety attack and all of that kind and stuff. Child, it's too much. It's too much. So yeah, it is what it is. So I'm just in the guest room for now because I'm not going to no. You give me the money to go to a hotel, then I'm going. If not, just listen. This man don't want to hear this tree removal company that we call. He didn't want to hear nothing about we waiting for no insurance. So we don't even pay them monthly. We pay them at the beginning of the year. We pay for the whole policy up front. We pay for the whole policy up front, so they're paid like in full, like the first month of the year they're paid in full for the year. They already paid, so they already paid. So it's just like, and how many years do you go? How many years do you need to use your insurance? You really don't need to use your insurance. So you go all this time without using insurance, but you're paying the insurance premium. So it shouldn't be an issue, when people are, coming, for what they are rightfully owed. So it's crazy, but I got them. And my uncle talking about he was going to send 7 on your side here. I say, listen, in Jersey. So he was going to send 7 on your side here. I'm like, don't send them people over here. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for the free 99 because sometimes people forget. I just want to make sure that we are they are going to put this get this video out into the algorithm. Let me go over here and pull up Instagram. So now we're going to take a look at what do you call it? It's just a lot. It's just all of the audacity for me that people want to play in your face. I'm going to show you how to play. Because guess what? I am going to be calling until they do something with you, sir, because you don't know how to. You don't know how to. These people out here get on my daggone nerve. Why is this one here? Oh, you know what? I probably can do it from here too. What am I thinking? Going to somebody else's page. So yeah, that's what this is my life right now. So who knows? I don't even know. What is? Hold on a minute. Let me see. I gotta look. Give me 1 minute. I'm just trying to remember what the heck. I'm so tired. Tia can't now. Tia, and I got her on one of my. But baby girl, you need to go sit down because it is just ridiculous what you're running around on this internet doing to that girl because your clout drying up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course, always. I am. I'm definitely doing that. Calling our headquarters And also, I will be calling the insurance commissioners or whatever it is. We are going to be doing that for sure. I just don't like, these people are just crazy. All right, let's see. All right, here it is. All right. So let's go to her first post. Hold on. Did she do something? So I'm going, so she has Deontay Nash's letter up here as well, right? So let's bring this over here and take a look at Deontay Nash's letter first, and then we'll look at her oh, okay. And my whole thing is just that, like, first of all, you have no critical thinking skills. You have no, you're supposed to be you're supposed to be able to adjust. You don't have any active listening skills, because every time I try to say something to you, you go ahead and you want to go ahead and say something else and keep going on and keep going where you're going. But it's just crazy. All right, so we have here a letter that her name is Jordan Chaton, so that's Diddy's ex-chef, the one that he allegedly assaulted. Now, she went to see she spoke with the feds, and she was supposed to be a witness, and I think that they dropped the ball on this one. I believe that they dropped the ball on this one, because she's very she didn't think, it didn't seem like she could be like easily intimidating and intimidated, and then she doesn't come off like that, but she could have gave them information regarding bribery. And I don't think she ever said which attorney reached out to her, but his attorneys need to be also careful, because y'all risking it all for this creep. Ciao. Like, it is, I understand y'all getting paid a hefty sum, but my thing is, I would not be risking it all for this creep. All right. So the letter says, "Dear Judge Subramanian, I'm writing to express my grave concern over the prospect of Sean Combs being released from custody. While I appreciate the fairness you have shown throughout this proceeding, I feel compelled to be unequivocal about the danger he poses to the public and to the individuals who have risked everything by coming forward. Mr. Combs has a long, well-documented history of violent, coercive, and retaliatory behavior. Over the years, he has repeatedly escaped meaningful accountability, and each time this has only reinforced his sense of impunity. If he is released now, I have no doubt he will see it as yet another license to continue intimidating, threatening, and harming people who challenge or expose him. Many of us have firsthand knowledge of the fear he instills in those around him. I can say without hesitation that he is a serious and immediate threat to victims, witnesses, and broader community. His pattern of violence, particularly while engaged in the trafficking of individuals for prostitution, combined with unchecked substance abuse, makes it clear that he is not ready to re-enter society safely or responsibly. To release Mr. Combs without substantial consequence would undermine the integrity of this process and send a dangerous message that wealth and influence can shield someone indefinitely from accountability. It will also endanger those who cooperated with this investigation under subpoena, who are already living in fear of retaliation. I urge you in the strongest possible terms to prioritize the safety of victims and witnesses over any consideration of leniency. Mr. Combs has had countless opportunities to change, and he has chosen instead to escalate his harmful conduct. Allowing him back into the community now would be a profound mistake. Thank you for your time and for your commitment to protecting the public from those who repeatedly demonstrate they are unwilling to respect the law. Respectfully, Deontay Nash. Listen, I thought that was very well written. I'm pretty sure, they all have attorneys, so I'm pretty sure. And they have all these theories out here that Comey actually knew this wasn't going to be a win and all this other stuff. People are pulling out stuff from everywhere. And I guess it's like a couple of people that were in the mob. And so, some of them, they feel this way. That Comey, because it's a high profile case, she threw the case. I don't think so. I think that they believe that they proved everything. I think they proved the predicate acts, definitely bribery. They proved that. They definitely proved the X trafficking. And I forgot which channel I was watching. So this guy played the video to show his audience and anybody else that clicked onto the video from the hotel, right where the act of him beating and dragging Cassie, where it became X trafficking. So when she was at the elevator and he came flying around the corner and he knocked her down and he kicked her. Once he started to try to drag her back into the room, I'm wondering if that's Jules that's going around saying, I have to see what that body, what this guy's name is. Because people was giving him a hard time, like, oh, you ugly. Oh, you're not attractive. Why would they call you? Da-da-da-da-da. And he was like, it's not about how ugly I am. If I don't look good to some people, but I could put it down in the bedroom. So it's just annoying to me. It's annoying. Okay, so this is the video of her talking about her. Oh, hold on. All right, so let's take this
one of the actual minor victims to Sean Combs' physical assault while I was employed by him. As someone who was a witness to the abuse towards Cassandra Ventura Vine during my time of working for Sean Combs, I would just like to say that this is a grave miscarriage of justice. And I would like to also address that last year on March 20th, I was contacted by the federal government. They showed up at my door with badges. I refused to speak to them because I was, as one of the actual...
Okay, hold on. Let me go next.
I was
continue.
Terrified. So I was served with a grand jury subpoena that day before they left my home in Atlanta, Georgia. I confided in 3 different people about that visit from the feds. Terrified is actually an understatement. By April 11th of 2024, I was being contacted by Sean Combs' initial lawyer, Aaron Dyer. I have a voicemail that he left and text messages stating that Mr. Combs was aware of the visit from the government and that they would like to extend to cover my legal fees. These are, I was terrified. So
All
I
right,
was
hold on.
served. These are facts. This, in my opinion, was witness tampering. I was supposed to testify this year on May 20th. I was in New York. It was announced. It was on CNN that I was supposed to be testifying, and I was pulled because I flipped out on the government. These are also facts. I want to be very clear. As a victim, as a former employee of Sean Combs, I do not feel safe. I am extremely traumatized. I do not know where to go from here. I did. These are facts.
Hold
This
on.
is submit my own letter to the judge. I stand by everything that I said. I knew that he beat Cassie Ventura fine in 2009. I know that she was dragged from the vehicle. Okay. I know that I saw her 2 days later at the London hotel when me and one of his assistants brought her a bag. Okay. This was a miscarriage of justice. And beyond any of this, I don't really have anything more to say, and I really don't know where to go from here. Just know that I am terrified and I am traumatized. And it's honestly, it's my own letter to the judge.
Okay, so she cut off there, but it says greetings. Okay, so she's showing a letter that was sent to her from the Southern District of New York. It says greetings. We command you. We command you in all caps. That all in singular business and excuses being laid aside, you appear and attend before the grand jury of the people of the United States for the Southern District of New York and the United States Courthouse, 40 Foley Square, New York, in the Southern District of New York at the following date, time, and place. April 2nd, 2024, 9 a.m. To testify and give evidence in regard to an alleged violation of federal law and not to depart the grand jury without leave thereof or of the United States Attorney, and that you bring with you and produce at the above time and place the following: journals, notes, photographs, or other records and materials memorializing or related to your employment by Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, aka Puff Daddy, aka Diddy, they forgot, aka Love, aka Brother Love, aka Pop Pop, aka Poppy, aka Love on top, Tucci on the bottom. I just wanted them to have a thorough record. So I'm just, trying to fill that in for them. So it says failure to attend and produce any items here by demanded will constitute contempt of court and will subject you to civil sanctions and criminal penalties, in addition to other penalties of the law. It's signed Damian Williams. That was when Mr. Williams was still on the case, because we know that he is the one that brought the case. So here is the she's putting up this is the iMessage, so this is a text. Dear Chef Jordan, this is Aaron Dyer. I'm Sean Combs' attorney. I left you a voicemail last week, but wanted to follow up. I had been told you had been contacted by law enforcement and might want an attorney to represent you. Let me know if you want to discuss or have us help with this. Feel free to call or text me anytime at your convenience, Aaron. Now, should they be brought in? Because this right here, why would she want an attorney of yours when she was allegedly assaulted by Diddy and fired? Why would she want you to be her attorney? This is crazy. So this is the letter that she wrote to Judge Subramanian. I am writing to express my grave concern over the possible release of Sean Combs. I believe he should be held without bail until his sentencing is determined. Thank you for your time and attention to this case so far. You are appreciated. I know that you did not hear from me during the trial, but I was in fact listed as a witness to Mr. Combs' abuse towards Cassandra Ventura Fine. You also heard testimony about Mr. Combs assaulting me inside of his New Jersey estate. There has been a clear pattern of physical, actual, and financial abuse on his part for years. Releasing him now would be unjust. Those of us who were subpoenaed are terrified at the possibility of his retaliation against us. I'd like to express how terrifying this whole ordeal has been for me personally. This past year and a half has been traumatizing. This verdict is devastating. His release would be sending a dangerous message to all survivors and victims of these types of crimes. I fear for my safety upon his release. I ask that you consider all the victims and witnesses involved in this case. Thank you for your careful consideration in this matter. So yes, it is that it is very it's sad and it's disheartening to have to listen to the trauma that they are going through. Because so she was a witness. They took her off the witness list. And she went live again and she spoke some more. So I'm going to bring that over now. She did speak more about the case. Like this was another day, but here it is.
Hey, it's me again. I just want to address a few things because I know that it's been very confusing to see my initial post about my reaction to the verdict and me saying that I was afraid. And I'd like to explain that the contact of the federal government is terrible. The fact that their visit happens on March 20th, and by April 4th, really, I was there that Sean Combs already knew about that visit, even though I declined to speak to the family came. That's why I was served with a jury subpoena. So my thing is everyone's like, oh, that's not witness tampering, that his lawyers were trying to pay your legal fees. Not brutally this. If someone has assaulted you in the past and they threatened your life because you know about them brutally assaulting the person that they are with, that's at the center of the case, why do you get to pay my legal fees? Riddle me that, okay? And I wasn't responding. So there are text messages, and I do have voicemails from that lawyer too, because they were trying to reach me. Now, in the interim of me not responding, my car was mysteriously broken into. It's a smash and grab in this city, but my car, the alarm system was disabled, and the contents of my glove compartment and my middle console, everything that was identifying me was taken out and neatly placed on my passenger seat like a serial killer. And I immediately filed a police report and stated in that police report that the feds were at my house 2 weeks before, and that I believe that this was witness tampering and intimidation. And I still do believe it. So for everyone saying, oh, he's not thinking about you, oh, he's not going to do anything to you, oh, nothing's going to happen to you, oh, you're being dumb because you're saying where you're at. He knows where I'm at. He didn't know where the fuck I was at. So there's those details. And maybe that's the only thing where anything to do with me and I have to say is alleged, because I don't have proof that he made people do that. And I believe that he did because he wanted to control my interview with the government. Like Jane. What else? All these men that are stepping up now and that are saying, oh, it was just a little prostitution. Oh, it was just a little this. Oh, it was just a little drugs. If you have to pump people full of drugs for them to participate in sexual activities that you want to do, that is coercion. And I don't think they want to do it. And for multiple women over decades to have said that he raped them? I believe them. I know Cassie. She said it happened. I believe her. I know Mia. She said it happened. I believe her. Kat, my friend, said it happened. I believe her. And in some of the documentaries, there's a common thread. None of these women had spoke to each other. You want to know what the common thread is? Is that his eyes turned black and he looked like a demon. And so I believe that he was doing these things when he was out of his mind because he was a drug addict. Because he was a drug addict. Yeah. And so a lot of the verbal abuse and tantrums that us employees that were dealing with him quietly and silently were due to his drug abuse because he's a fucking drug addict. A high functioning drug addict. And then it's like, oh, why are you guys saying something now? And because I can now. And you know what? I just don't care no more. And he's getting away with everything that he's done for decades. And all of these men that keep pacify the behavior, y'all are predators too. So if you gotta pump women full of drugs so that you can sex with them, you're a fucking predator. Okay? So yeah. So I just wanted to get that off of my chest too. Let me see. What else do I want to get off my chest? Multiple executives over decades have helped cover up crimes, okay? And it should have been focused on them because the reality is nobody values women. Nobody cares about what's happening to them. Abuse apparently doesn't matter. People full of drugs to get them to do what they want to do. Apparently they're doing it because they want to. No. If the focus is stayed on executive, I don't know why this was presented. I don't know. Not my case. And that's what my lawyer had to keep telling me. So then it's like, why didn't you testify? Because I freaked out on them. I called them, literally, you're going to lose it. Because I don't know what you guys are doing. And so, yeah, just wanted to clear up. And I understand that you guys don't really understand sex work. And there is a lot of nuances. And listen, people's sexual kinks is not the problem. But you have to beat people into a submission. That is the problem. Okay? I don't understand this, but I am a victim. And yeah, I want to like move forward. But I just don't understand. You guys don't know Cassie. I believe that she was raped. You don't tell me I do. I believe she was raped. I believe she was raped. He's a fucking rapist. I don't care. That's what I believe. Have a great day, everyone.
So
Hey. I just wanted to address a few.
So yeah, let me remove her. I don't think she has anything else besides this up there, but it's pretty disheartening to see her having to go through these things. And so I just think that it is it's crazy that that these people have to go through this. And that you have so many people online that's trolling. You have so many people online that's that's what I turn off. All right, you have so many people online that's trolling. You have so many people online, that are making jokes about this. So many people online, and I do believe that this is a concerted effort to have people come together to speak ill about Cassie. She is so AOBD. She used to be Diddy's private chef, Jordan Chaton. So that I don't know if you heard anybody talking about the chef that was going to get on the stand and really bring it home because he assaulted her as well. She was assaulted by him, and she was supposed to testify, but they at the last minute, I guess she started freaking out, and I guess the government is decided that they weren't going to use her or whatever, but she was still freaking out. But it is quite disheartening that The feds come to your house, and then the people call the simple fact that Diddy had these people call her and say, we know that the feds was at your house the other day. And this is an attorney that say that to her. We know that the feds was at your house the other day. And so if you need an attorney, like Sean is going to pay for your attorney, and I can help you with that. Why would he be wanting to pay her for her attorney? You fire her. She no longer works for you. You assaulted her. This is the chef that they were talking about that was supposed to come and testify. So, but why would you offer to pay her attorney's fee? Like it is definitely a threat. And she should have feel threatened. She should have felt threatened because it definitely is a threat. So, hold on, let me see something here. Okay, so so it is like everybody's scared of what she did through the whole so she was saying that she was there when Cassie was drugged in the street. She was there when she was brutally assaulted. She was at the London hotel. Remember, Roger Bonds took her to the Cassie to the hotel after she got stomped on her face or whatever, and they made her stay there until she got was healed enough so that the makeup could cover her bruises. She's saying that she had went to the hotel to bring her a bag of something. She didn't say what was in the bag, but she said a bag of something. So I just don't think how they are, don't expect them to not be threatened, given all that we know about, Diddy. I don't understand that. So remember, I don't know if y'all remember that when he first got into the music industry, he had did a song with Nas, and they had them. It was supposed to appear in this video where it looks like they were on the cross. So Diddy, at first, he was with it, and he said, no, I don't want to do this. So when the video came out, they didn't change it, and he stormed into the office and hit. I forgot who it was. I forgot which one was it. What is his name? The one that passed away. The music producer that with the Andre Harrell. I don't know if it was Andre Harrell or the assistant. I think it was the assistant or something like that. And they said, Diddy came in there and cracked him over the head and like, didn't I tell you to tip? Like, yeah. So it is a lot, and it's, more people than a little bit, saying these things. And so all of the people that's out here just saying to me, like, they're smut shaming Cassie right about now. Like I said, Jane, but Cassie, it was a situation she didn't want to be in. It was Steve Stout. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Thank you for that for always. It's Steve Stout. So in Cassie's situation, she was 19. She was with Ryan Leslie. So basically he took her from, and I watched an interview where Ryan Leslie spoke on that. And he said that, when you have he called Cassie a beautiful piece of something. I forgot the exact words he said. Everybody is after it and they want to attain it. And he said, and that was Diddy. And that's what Diddy did. So, it was a known fact that she did not like Diddy. He forced himself on her. Just the way these women are saying that he forced himself on them and nobody believed them. So this is why victims don't come forward. I think that is, disgusting that, they didn't see that she was everything. When you groom somebody, you tell them exactly how you like things. And, in her mind, if I don't get this right, I'm going to get my behind beat. So he want me to be as kinky as possible. I need to get into my role and I need to do what I need to do. Now, I watched an interview, a live the other day with Cassie. Cassie, and I forgot the other girl's name. But she was saying how she's very shy. She doesn't like to be around a lot of people. She's a homebody. So, you do what you have to do when you're in a situation, when you're faced with a situation where, it could be your life any minute. Do people really realize how many times that he almost unalived this girl? Slamming her and hitting her in her eye right here on the edge of a bed. It's crazy to me. And that's just not it. He didn't care where he put his hands on her, where they were. At the Met Gala in the bathroom. Like, you really couldn't wait. So, yeah, I do also believe that that's why Gina is singing this song that she's singing now. I do believe that Gina, she didn't come, and they knew she didn't come because he had his attorneys reaching out to these people. Now, the way they can get around it is if they're going to be using them as witnesses, $500K to cover it up. So if they're going to be using, if the government are going to be using these people as witnesses, like, they have a right to reach out to them and interview them, but the witnesses don't have to speak to them. If they decline to speak to them, then they just decline to speak to them. But the fact that you even want to speak to me and you're his attorney, what are we doing? So I definitely think that Gina Hume was just set up, and she didn't even want no money. She didn't want no money. She out here still trying to prove her dumbass love for this guy that don't care nothing about her. But I guess her and Young Miami is looking at the like the winners or whatever, and Young Miami with her response to Diddy being found not guilty on some of the charges and guilty on the other two charges. So I guess you and Gina are going to be still in the running because he could pick right back up where he left off. You, Gina. Because trust me, he's not going to be somebody that's going to come out here and say, listen, I almost went away for life. I had to do my time. I need to, be different and move different. You can't teach a man not to be. If a man is an abuser, they're going to continue to abuse. He's just going to try to make sure that it's not something that comes out. So he has to be, once he's released and he no longer has to be drug tested, he's going right back on that mess. Y'all don't think so? Of course he is. He's going right back on that mess. And that is supposed to be his kryptonite. But, it is what it is. And then they have the nerve to be reaching out to content creators, trying to put fear in them to not do content on Diddy in a negative light. It is what it is. If I feel like, there's information that was presented and I feel a case is strong, looking at the evidence just like everybody else, I could do commentary on that. It's really sad, but what they failed to realize is that it's not a good thing because Diddy is still behind the wall, and everybody and anybody has access to the judge's email address. And so I'm pretty sure that people are, emailing the judge. I'm pretty sure that he probably will take the time out to read each and every one of his emails. So I hear a lot of people saying that, after they pre-sentencing hearing, they're going to sentence him. If you listen read when Agnifilo said that they waived the hearing for the pre-sentencing. I know what the judge initially said that the sentencing date was October 3rd, but they have a pre-sentencing hearing coming up, and Agnew Phillips said that he waives that. He wants to waive that and get right to the sentencing. So we'll see on the 8th. They'll be back in court again for whatever they're going for at that time. It's a little like up in the air because like I did hear him say that he waived that pre-sentencing hearing. So is he just going to be sentenced on the 8th of July? Or because I'm just a little confused because I know I read that Agnew Phillips said that he was waiving that. So Diddy's team probably tried to make her feel like an unindicted co-conspirator. I think that's why they lost. They could have won this case. And that's why I guess this YouTuber is saying that Comey and them knew they had so many more things they could have charged him with in this case. This is what I think. I believe that he's incarcerated. He's going to get sentenced to whatever time the judge is going to give him. I think that the judge is going to give him time more on the highest scale based on him not giving him bail. I think he's going to give him a sentence on the higher level, not what everybody else is thinking. Oh, like a year and time served. Oh, he's going to be home next week. If that was the case, he would have been home. Did anybody not read that Judge Summarian said, so you don't want to go back to that cell over there, do you? And Mr. Combs, and he said, no. Bail denied. You're going back. The judge saw all of the evidence that was suppressed because they suppressed a lot of evidence that could have helped this case. But they also could have charged him with the firearms that were defaced that they found, the AR-15, the rifles, and whatever other, pow-pows that they had. They could have charged him with that. That's a crime in itself. Scratching out serial number so it can't be traced back to you. That's a crime all in itself. I think that KK and them should have been right there as co-conspirators. They should have been listed. Indict them. Like KK got more. KK and D-Rock, they just as bad as him. So I think that was a mistake for them because like people couldn't wrap their head around like where's the enterprise, and people didn't realize that everybody that testified got immunity because they were unindicted co-conspirators. Now, the guy that's the juror that's doing the tour now, that's he's been on CNN, he's been on platforms or whatever. I think he's been on CNN. Everybody else is like just looking at the interview. He said they 100% believe Cassie. They believed her testimony. Okay. Then what the fuck happened? What happened then? He said the prostitution was clear. If they would have charged him with DV, it would have been clear. They would have found him guilty. But isn't prostitution and like ex trafficking along the same lines? I think people are looking at the ex trafficking in a way where we see white vans. We think white vans pulling up, snatching young girls, and selling them to be ex-trafficked. I think a lot of people's minds are there. And when you look at it in a different light as they are, explained it and how it relates to his activities with these men that's now they're on the world tour doing interviews. And the one guy is just dragging Cassie for filth. And I don't believe some of the things that he's saying. Because Cassie basically owned everything that she did in those freak offs on that stand. I'm confused. Why would she get up there and say stuff about one thing and wouldn't say stuff about the other things? And then also, you out here in the X industry and you got the Clement. Do you really know who you got it from? Do you really know who you got it from? And then he went so far as to say that he got her pregnant and she terminated the pregnancy. I'm surprised they didn't find, or maybe they just get those on the night that they go, because he makes them take the after morning pill. So my thing is, this guy is trying to make it seem like he had way more. It was way more than just a freak off. Like, you're trying to say that, I think the way he's talking, he's trying to make it seem like it was more than just an FO, that he spent more time with them than just an FO. No, that's what they were saying. Like, some of these paid workers were just blinded by Cassie's beauty, and they some of them wanted to protect her, and they thought that she was into them more than they were. No, she was performing for the diddler. She better have got in there and do the right thing. You better get in there and twerk it and do all this anime. You better, or else you gonna come in the side room, bitch. That's what it was. So, I mean, and it's just, I've never seen like a group of people so ready to be cheering somebody on. And like I said, there's a YouTuber I'm very, very shocked about. I'm just very, very shocked about, because he normally is like this, oh, I'm Jesus' nephew. Jesus was my mother's brother. And you on here now, and I will never visit his page again. I will never, because I just, like, you're going to another level with it. And I never looked at this content creator like this. I've always looked at him, in a different light, because of the way he does his content and things that he normally talks about on his page and everything like that. But I ran into some messages on Twitter and over here, and I just can't support it. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'll stop going over there anyway. So I'm really going to stop going over there. Because it's just like, okay, say you don't believe Cassie, but go the depths that you wish you're going to is like, it's crazy. And so, when people look at you different because of the way you normally present yourself, I can't believe the vulgar things that I see that you're posting about Cassie. Y'all motherfuckers act like, oh yeah, she was with it. She was paying. Are y'all dumb? Are y'all dumb? Are y'all dumb? She was paying for it with whose money? Whose money? With Sean Combs' money. He knew exactly what he was doing. I'm going to show you the rope. I'm going to remove myself, because if anything happened, you paid. You set it all up. But yeah, okay, so did we all hear the testimony and read the text messages when she was, well, he said he has Paul and such available. Which one do you want? What did he say? What was the guy named? Island? Is Island not? Whatever the heck his name is he not available? It was all for him, through him. Are you stupid? What point did y'all understand? I get it. I know what it is. You just don't respect women. There's a lot of people on this app that don't respect women. That don't respect women. And like I said, we need to keep Tisa Tells in prayer. It is just disgusting how they were trying to attack her. I'm telling you, it is because of all the support that she gets when she is online. That's what that was about. It wasn't about anything else but the support that she's getting, because the guy kept saying over and over and over again, are you going to give that money back that you got from your supporters? Well, supporters are still on here throwing money at her. They going to do that regardless of whether or not she's covering the Diddy case or not. That's just how the support works. But like I said, the biggest mistake that they could have made is that Tisa was on these networks, these big networks. Nancy Grace still pumping out videos and shorts of her and Tisa. And she knows some people in some high places. So I don't know, Diddy. I think it was a big mistake. And, then his friend was out there passing out those shirts that says Frico is not a Rico. He had a whole bunch of t-shirts passing them out. A Frico is not a Rico. Why are y'all dumb? Y'all think that because the judge is in the courtroom that he doesn't know everything that's going on the outside? Do y'all think those prosecutors don't know everything that's going on the outside? And the free Puff Daddy shirts that they were paying people to wear for $20 an hour is laughable because they were all drug addicts and stuff on the corner that was wearing it. I said, did they they scanned the crowd of the people that had on the shirt? One was nodding, the other one was scratching, the other one was laid up against the tree. I said, this is laughable at best. What the fuck is this? Diddy, you are going out bad. I just want to see, and this is where I'm going to kind of leave this, right? I am very interested to see who, if once we find out how much time he gets, if they decide that they want to let him out. I know that he missed the 4th of July cookout and they wasn't happy about that. I know. But I want to see who is still going to want to be bothered with him after all of this. So, that'll be interesting to see. And and that's just it. I'm pretty sure Judge Romanian received way more letters than from Deontay. From her, I know Cassie's attorney wrote a letter. She hired extra security already because they were saying that he was coming home Friday. They had the security all lined up at Two-Star or Two-Star Island and everything like that. And then they realized that he was not coming home. So, it is what it is. So I don't know. Maybe Sierra is going to give him another go. I would like to. Did he ever touch you? Did he ever whoop on you? Because I saw a video. She was on vacation and she was sitting on one side of him and Cassie was sitting on the other side of him. And I just was like, oh, okay. So he knew that it was awkward because he said, co-parenting at its finest, and put the camera on Sarah. Because, why is she there? I understand that she'll do it, but you on a family vacation. So, y'all family vacationing like that. Got it. So, so it's disturbing to see all of this. But anywho, so I hop on here and take a look at this because I saw this the other day. But you guys all know, if you're not following me on my other channel, please sub up to Survivor Speaks 2.0. I have some very fun things coming out over there. It's just really tedious work to get the videos I like them, and then any music that you hear playing over there is actually licensed to me. So I'm working on that. I have some other things too that I'm working on. As far as that channel goes, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun like a big kid. Like a big kid, but it's so many different moving parts to get the avatar, to get my avatar to move the way I want her to move. And it's a lot goes into, having to make the frames, and I'm new at it. I just started learning it. But there are some other people that's learning. They're like, how the hell you do that? I said, listen, I'm new. How long you been doing it? I've been here for a while, but I can't get it. How do you listen, that you give me something. I am what you call a techie. I'm going to play around with the thing because I like to see how stuff works. So that's me. I'm always looking to see how things work. So I play around with different things, and everybody's, this is where your creative comes out. Everybody is doing their own thing when it comes to your characters and what it is that you're doing. So I'm just having fun with it. Who knows? I may put out another song tonight. I don't know. I'm a little tired though, so it's 10:48. I may just make a. I haven't even really thought about it. I may do something really quick. I don't know. No, it's not really quick. It's 10:48 now. I tell you, if I start right now, I probably will be look up. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. And girl, you're still sitting here playing around with this stuff. But yeah, I have so many other things going on in the background. Personally, especially with this whole situation with this this thing that just happened. So, and I hate my bed in the guest room. My back hurts. I need to get. I thank goodness the tree and the rain is my bed, because I would have been highly upset. And it's too much to. Well, we wouldn't be able to, because my bed is a king size and my guest bed is a queen, but the mattress makes my back hurt. I'm so like, I need to get in here and get in my bed, but it doesn't look like It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that for a little while, because who knows? They're gonna have to remodel. They're gonna have to get all of that remodeled, all of it. But the good thing is that I'm going to tell them to raise the roof, push the bedroom out a little bit. So that's the only good thing that I can say about going through this. So I'm getting ready to get out of here, and my battery is about to be exhausted. But it wouldn't be me if I didn't leave you guys with the way I normally leave you, by advising that men get breast cancer too. Because of the stigma surrounding the word breast, we've changed the word to peck and/or chest cancer over here. So let's continue to bring awareness and that men get breast cancer too. And to all of my ladies, please make sure that you are getting your mammograms, filling on your boobies to make sure that you are all right. All right. And don't you dare let anybody come into your house and disturb a peace that passes all understanding. I'm Survivor Speaks. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Late nights, true speaks, we ain't holding back. Real talk, real hearts, yeah, we stay on track. Stories that heal, yeah, we dive in deep. This is the space where the survivors speak. Ooh, turn it up, feel the glow. Survivor Speaks, now you know.